Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Hello there.
Well, I guess not welcome back, but welcome to the Tavern.
Welcome to the Tavern.
Welcome back to the Tavern. That's a lot of words. But anyway, on tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about our favorite D&D moments. So just as a player, as a DM, in-game, out-of-game, just while we are playing, our favorite things that have happened over the last several years of playing. Does anyone have like a moment already in mind that they want to just jump up and share?
I have a couple, but mine are all very silly.
I mean, that's okay. Go for it.
You want me to go for it?
I'm like looking up. I'm like, go for it.
Let me tell you about my favorite moments.
These stools are
small. Okay, one of my favorite moments actually does involve you, so it's a little bit funny. It was
oh god,
that's
not my favorite moment. Then
what's one of your favorite moments?
Go for it. We'll find out.
This goes back to when we were playing Travis's campaign, and I was playing my character I've talked about in like every episode so far, Darwin. He was playing his character Arvis. It was like two of our favorite characters, been going around for a long time. And there was one night where, after much long adventuring, we decided that let's like stay at this inn and party and drink a lot of wine and cheese.
I remember this moment. They're there.
And we'd done this many times before where we were all like, yeah, let's get drinks at the tavern, we'll ask people, we'll go like mingle. We always stay at the inn like above the tavern, things like that. So we're like, oh yeah, just like we usually do when we stumble into a town. We'll talk to people, get drinks.
Sleep.
Sleep. But then one day Travis decides, you know what, no, this time I think Darwin and Arvis have a little something going on. Like, you guys have been drinking, you're a little bit tipsy. Roll not to bang.
Yeah. Okay, so there was more rolling than that. We built up to it because you guys initially, I think you had started rolling to see how long it took you to get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because we're elves.
Yeah, you hit the point
everyone else was
where
drunk, and we're like, this is taking forever.
Constitution checks.
I purposely made you guys have a higher roll you needed to meet, but it was like we got to the point where you guys' your characters. Your characters' relationships, you're interacting so well together, and you had the whole elf synchronization thing going on.
Yeah.
That it was like I thought there could be something here. So it's like you're gonna roll because you're not you. I don't care who's in a relationship with who inside this garage because in this tavern, love is blossoming
Between these two elves.
Yeah,
these two drunk elves. And so that was one of my favorite. It was just because it was really unexpected, and it brought like me and Aaron to be like, "Oh God!" We rolled, and we're like, and then we go to sleep, and then that was when the side of the inn just explodes.
Then the hotel blew up, so you know.
So that was one of my favorite moments because that like led into like the town kind of being destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole town was destroyed after that, so probably good we passed that.
Yeah. So that's what I think of when I think of some like fun favorite moments. Because when I think of fun favorite moments, I think of the more unexpected things that Travis would throw at us, or things that I would like do to make sure that he wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
So that's one of mine.
Before we go ahead, like, do we have limitations on what moments we're talking about? Like that's kind of a PG-13. Almost got jiggy with it, but didn't. Do we care how far we go?
If it happened in D&D, just talk about it.
Okay, because this is one's very near and dear to my heart.
Oh,
I think
God.
I
know.
I
was almost going to talk about that one.
Did it involve a black market?
Did it involve a black market?
Is that the one you think that I want to talk about?
You're referring to... Okay, just go for it.
Okay, so this was actually... I want to say this was actually in the Faerun campaign that this all went down.
Yes, after we had jumped portals and met up with the other people's new characters.
So,
okay.
Weirdly, I don't have a whole lot of experience as a player because I've been Dungeon Master for most of them. But in this particular session, we're in the world of Faerun, which is like one of the most common settings for D&D.
Realms, yeah.
And you guys had stumbled upon a black market in a city. Mm-hmm. And while you were there, not only did you like murder the guy you were supposed to be getting a quest from?
Yeah.
But you discovered in his house a very rare species of creature that you'd had experience fighting before.
Yes.
It was a kraken, but it was a young kraken.
We found a kraken
it hatched in a tank. And some guy came in because he heard the screaming, and they were like, bluff check. This man tried to rob our home, and we're just trying to sell this kraken. You want to buy it? And they got like natural 20s. So they ended up convincing this guy, the person they murdered who lived there, had actually tried attacking them. and in the same move,
sold
him a Kraken.
We made so much money from that guy.
I think that's kind of what had you set for the rest of that whole campaign.
Yeah, he paid like 10,000 gold.
Well, and on
you just
top
don't
of that,
get that kind of money in D&D.
Yeah.
That's...
On top
we
of
never
that,
bought shit. We never
That's
got
true.
a lot of
And then we were like,
from
we're in the
gold.
black market. We can spend all this money.
we could
Yeah.
get slaves. You know.
Yeah. Another one of my favorites, though, speaking of Krakens, was the time that you intimidated the Kraken.
Oh my god.
It was just you yelling off the boat. I'm done with
I'm
this.
so sorry you weren't there for any of this.
And then Arvis got the sub name Arvis Krakenbane.
Yeah,
Because he just-
Krakenbane. I forgot about that.
He yelled at that Kraken and it just backed off.
Because that was
Enough!
you were rolling so
Just
poorly,
right.
and then you rolled really well, and you're like, I'm gonna intimidate the Kraken.
It was attacking our ship and I just yelled at it and
Like,
it left.
no.
Sorry, I felt your breath. on
That's
my
another
hand.
favorite moment of
Oh, I was
mine.
just
Okay.
looking at
Are we
the
just
top.
That's fine. I'm sorry. I just had like a weird moment with Megan right here where I felt her breath on my hand.
So I was looking and watching them talk.
I'm exhausted. I've been doing a lot of driving and not a lot of sleeping lately. And I was like, is she licking my hand? No, you weren't. That's my bad. Anyways.
Anyway,
Did you finish your moment, Travis? Selling the Kraken.
No,
I think there's a little bit more.
There was a little bit more
Yeah.
because after that had all gone down, you guys were like, oh, let's look through his stuff, see if we can find anything else that we can use.
you remember
Nick
this?
Ferris is digging through a chest of drawers. And he finds 3 golden dildos that he holds on to
kept
for the
them.
longest time. I'm sure that character still has them in his inventory because he never sold them.
No,
Yeah.
he just kept...
He was like, "Yeah, I'll take these."
Might need them.
Might
Who
need 'em.
knows? Or like,
Yeah.
okay, Nick,
Yeah.
go for
If
it.
you need to jam the hinges on a door or
Whip
something
out that
else.
golden dildo.
If you need to bludgeon a aggressive dwarf.
They're multi-purpose tools. All right.
All right, so yeah,
So
that's the
I
end of
went-
my story. It was just a
You
little
went.
weird.
Who's next?
Go ahead, Megan.
Megan.
What's your
Megan's turn.
favorite D&D
I
moment of the like 5 that you've had?
We did. It's not even 5. I think I've gotten to play like 3-4 times, maybe
Yeah.
tops. And sadly, like we've already talked several times about my favorite moment, which is just again me playing the Deva and getting to flirt with dwarves in the tavern and
Love
it, like
Blossom.
Random characters.
working out really well. It was really funny. And Travis was smart with it because he was the DM. And then he like... and then the dwarf after like the tournament thing that we won like threw me... What kind of rose was it?
Mithril.
Rose.
I thought that was like a really cool like little... is it NPC? Yeah, that like got to keep going. And I don't remember much from my first time playing, but I feel like there was like good moments in there.
Matt had that moment on the tower. Where
So that
Yes.
time was when
that was all the same session.
Yeah.
me flirting
were
with
in
the
the
dwarf
Dwarven
wasn't in that
City.
same session.
Yes, it was.
No, it was when we started playing with Miguel and Susie.
That was all the same session.
Yeah.
They were there for that.
That was like the
They
one...
were there for my first one when I had to go to the hospital.
Are you?
Oh, you're referring to an East Campus when you played for like an
Like the
hour.
first
and then we...
time.
Oh no no no
Give
no
it
no!
to Pat.
I'm talking about the first session
Oh.
of my campaign.
Yeah, that session was not...
I have a, okay.
your
Well, this is
Deva.
exciting because
That was like
I don't
a
get
year
a,
between
I,
those
I don't
two.
get a lot of like cool good moments because I don't get to play it often.
We will
Oh,
soon.
but yes, soon we will get to. But the first time, I remember there was a point where like I was bringing like I think like Avatar into it, and I was trying to like change something into water because like the fire had caught on all of these buildings. Do you remember that?
I don't
Trying to like
remember
use
this at all.
alchemy to
Yeah,
change
I
something
like
into water.
I had like some type of class or something. Like I was trying. I'm like, can I like change this
like
into
your
this and
purify
use it for
water
water?
Purify water,
for your
yeah.
fishermen.
I vaguely remember this.
I don't remember
See,
this.
it's hard to remember this because
Because
we
it was
spent the
the
whole
one-
night in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, and you guys like we were up till
Everything
like 3 a.m.
Prior to that,
4
was just kind
a.m.
of
4
deleted.
a.m.
We
and you
went
guys
to
went to
Denny's.
Denny's
Oh,
because you
God.
guys kept staying, and I was like, you guys need to go eat and like
Go
get some
get dinner.
coffee.
This is the
It's
first time
late.
I had met Megan, like day one.
We've explained this a lot of times.
It still cracks me up. We spent like 2 hours playing Uno in the waiting room,
Yeah,
and like
it's
the
horrible.
people. This has nothing to do with D&D. So you spread this water on these flaming buildings using water bending style.
I don't think it was water bending. I think I had like a tool or something
You
near
had
me, and
some
I was
kind
like,
of-
can I change this into water? Like elements, because I didn't know. I didn't know the rules yet.
Yeah, and it was one of those
And
situations.
so I
where,
was like already trying to bend what could be done.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good. That's
Like,
innovation.
I mean,
with your
you
character.
can roll for it.
So, so that
You
was
never
like
know,
another
crit success can happen at any time.
cool moment, and that was where I really liked D&D. So I was happy I got to have that like one experience, because I'm sorry that I don't have very many like really fun
Soon.
memories, because I need to play
Soon.
more.
Exactly.
Soon.
Okay, so you all wrapped up,
Boys.
Megan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Your turn.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy.
I don't know. There's a lot of great moments that have happened. Definitely the Kraken. Anything
Kraken.
involving any
The
of the
Kraken.
Krakens is some just great memories.
We had many run-ins with Krakens.
Is the Kraken eating that girl? No, this is a cave Kraken. They don't eat princesses. They're vegetarian.
But I gotta say, one of my favorite D&D moments was the birth of elf synchronization between
Yeah.
our two elf characters. It was on...
That was my second ever session playing that I talked about in one of the previous
Right.
Welcome to the Taverns. Of like, that was the session that I started feeling more comfortable, like, actually role-playing instead of just scanning my sheet and worrying.
We were on a boat. Fill me in if I'm remembering this incorrectly, because this was a few years ago.
Yeah,
but
we
we
were
were on a
on a
boat,
boat.
and we were fighting enemies, and the ship caught fire?
I don't know if the ship caught fire. I know someone definitely fell off of the boat
Something-
at some point. And
There was
like,
a smaller boat, and they fell off, like, into the smaller boat, and we're like, we're gonna jump down into the boat, but we rolled, like, so high that we did synchronized backflips
we
off
rolled
of...
high, and we also got the same number.
Right, so
that's
because
how it
we
happened.
both rolled like a 16 or something, where it was like enough to work, but it was the same. And so we both did a synchronized
same
backflip
time.
off
Onto-
of the boat onto the smaller boat to like get to our person.
Stuck the landing.
And that was the birth of elf synchronization, which went on for years
It
after
still
that.
goes on.
It still
in just
goes
our
on.
real life.
Our real life, where we say the same thing at the same time, or just weird stuff. So that was a
That was
really
a
good
great
memory.
moment. That started many other good moments.
What?
Well, that reminds me of like the 1,000 Lives thing for Devas. That was one of the things I really liked, like playing that character. Is when I think I've only ever played with Travis as a I played with you as a DM.
That was the
once.
very first
Just
time
for that
I was
one
with you.
episode.
Yeah, but
one
so
session.
one session.
Oh, it was an episode.
But
Some sort of
I
episode.
really liked when like part of it would be he would have to tell me things like from my past lives, and then I
yeah.
had to sit there not like saying anything of the information and just kind of guide things along.
fun.
That was something
That was
that I
another thing
did
I really liked.
later on, because it was like, and that actually made for some really fun moments in the
Yeah.
games, because whenever I had a player who was supposed to be savvy to certain savvy to certain knowledge,
You take them like outside the garage and like tell them secretly.
yeah, and like there was one session where like the group had split, so I would take one group into the other room and the other stayed in a different room, and I would talk to you guys back and forth about what was
so
going
we didn't
on.
know what was going on with the other
We
players.
Okay, that's
that.
pretty
That's
cool.
definitely a fun memory.
Yeah.
It was very difficult
Absolutely.
to execute, but it was fun.
Yeah,
Because
because
it had that element of mystery. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
You
stop
can't meta with
your
that
fun
kind of a
moments.
thing.
Okay.
Like we'll let you talk this time.
This time.
And then, shoot, everything is always revolving around Arvis, so I'm trying to think of another great moment, one of my favorite moments, involving a different character.
I have actually a moment from when I was a player.
Okay, go for it.
Do tell.
'Cause
Alex Evil Campaign.
when you were
Evil
the
Campaign.
Where-
Stars guy.
When I played this character named
Stars.
Vincent Dantes, he was a star-packed warlock, and he was a half-elf, and like
Yeah.
he had this horribly grotesquely tragic background that I gave
Really
him.
sad backstory.
And he was constantly screaming about it. Well, it was supposed to be an all-evil campaign, and at one point we got taken to like another dimension or whatever, where it's all black.
That's when I played my Drag.
Yeah,
That was when
and
you played your drow. I
so
played
our-
a changeling for the first time.
our DM had these like god characters that were supposed to be convincing us to do evil things in the world, but my character starts like freaking out, and so I was like, I roll unarmed melee. I just punch. I swing and I punch.
Because it was dark.
Because
right?
it was dark.
Yeah.
Or like I cast some spell or something like that. I feel like it was a punch because I remember it being
No, I think you
ridiculous
just
because
swung.
it was.
You just
Yeah.
swung out because you couldn't see anything.
But I rolled a nat 20, and I had some kind of ability that it was a daily that
In
replaced
place
my
of an unarmed
my
melee.
unarmed melee.
Yeah, so you
So-
used a daily with this punch.
I swung and I basically punched a hole in a god. And like it was one of those things where it's like I remember his face, he was in shock in that moment because he was like, I don't know if this needs to be an encounter or not, because like they'll all die, but also you just took a quarter of this guy's health out in one hit.
Devastatingly.
And yeah.
Beautiful.
For a warlock though, it was kind of weird. It was like Eldritch Punch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was one of those weird substitutes.
That to me, I think
That's
is
a
like
good
the
one, though.
craziest moment that I've had as a player.
That was
Something
fun,
that I've
though.
done.
I just thought of my favorite moment as not Arvis.
That's not.
This was, and I don't think none of you would have been here for this because this was the one and only time that Thomas DM'd.
Oh.
Oh.
And this was a moment that. So
I still have only met Thomas
this
once,
was
but
one-
I can't even.
He was
I was-
delightful to me.
I was
I
living
hate
in the,
that guy.
I was living in the dorms
So much.
So like I was here alone. These guys were still back in Hanford, years away from even meeting
Mom.
Megan.
Thomas, if you're watching this, I hate you so much.
And basically, I was playing a character.
Dude.
I was playing a drow in this situation, but I was with this team of people, and basically we get to the end of who we're supposed to fight, and it's a lesser deity that is basically an offspring of Lolth, and so like
Spider
But
Gal.
you're a drow.
right, so the whole group is like, all right, we got to kill him, and I just go, and I just look at Thomas and I go, I rolled a hit Matt. And everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
You're like,
I'm
my
a drow.
queen."
I'm a worshiper of Lolth. I am not going to kill this guy. I'm going to take you all down.
I love it.
And they're like, are
That's
you...
playing to your
they're like,
character, though.
and everyone was so mad. Matt and Senia, and they were all just like, why would you do
Bah, bah,
this? Like, but... And here's
But
the
you're,
kicker.
you're sticking to who your character is.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and I did
play the
not know this
character.
was coming. This
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
moment where I was like,
Sorry, I keep using
Lolth,
it in
like,
all
No,
oh
it's
no,
okay.
like I can't kill this demon or whatever it was, this deity that is like part of her minions and stuff.
We had like a train going here.
We just we literally all keep moving.
It's
Just
very
like,
compact space.
What
So
happened in this encounter is what makes it one of my favorite memories. That demon never even had to roll. My character killed the other 4 characters in the group.
You told me that
Because
story.
they were all very new players. We were all the same level, just I had more experience with character building, so I had a more powerful character.
Strategy.
I killed Thomas, killed Matt, killed Senia, killed Sydney when we were playing with that girl Sydney. And the demon never even had to
Yeehaw.
step in, and I was still above bloodied. Just their roll, but the combination
That's
between their
beautiful.
rolls and just really bad strategy, my character took out the entire group.
You had Loth's favor.
You had
did that?
Right?
like your total party kill.
Did
that
just
end
the
because of
session?
you.
That ended the entire campaign because they were dead. This was the first session
I
of
love
what
it.
was supposed to be a long campaign. Everyone was dead.
So
And
everyone was mad at you for just taking them out.
It was probably about 3 months before anyone would play D&D with me again. Yeah, people were legitimately mad,
think
and I
that's
was like, I'm
hilarious.
like, guys, like, it's the game.
That's literally. I mean, that's
Like-
that's.
Like,
so
I hadn't heard that story. That's amazing.
it's like that,
great.
yeah, like I
They
think,
could have chosen
I think
to,
for
like,
a day or
run
two, I
away.
ate at the dining commons alone. Like,
oh my god.
people were upset.
Poor you.
Even Thomas was like,
No offense, but that's kind of
upset because his
dramatic.
whole
Like,
campaign
no, it
was
absolutely
destroyed.
is.
You can
Like,
always use that to create more things, or if like they're so mad, you can restart that.
They
like,
were
campaign.
dead. There was no restart.
The
I
amount
know,
of
but
people
like
that
you could
get
have.
mad
I'm
in
just
real
saying,
life
like there's ways to
Yeah.
get
over
around
things in the
that.
game.
But that's one
I
of
just
my
don't understand
fondest
getting that
memories
mad.
because I've never created a. Well, one, when I play as a character, I'm never a player that typically turns on fellow players. So I've never experienced player-to-player combat, but let alone 1v4 or 1v3 and to come out
and
on top.
victorious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, damn,
Like,
with no help from the
Overwhelmingly
NPC.
victorious. That's
Yeah.
insane.
So that was
love
fun.
it.
I wish I still had that character because he was so well built. I don't even remember what he was. He was a drow
Took
something.
him out though.
But he had burst power, so every
That's
time I
good.
attacked, I was able to hit all of them, and
Yeah.
that's what wore them down.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like
That's awesome.
That is good.
that. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I
I
guess.
think we should
favorite
end on
moments?
killing all of our friends.
Yeah, that's
right. Favorite memory: killing all of my friends.
Ending the
only
campaign,
had-
ending the episode.
thanks a
ending
lot,
the
Aaron.
episode. All right. Thanks to you guys. Thanks for watching. Check us out next time. Here
Stay
comes a
tuned.
link to one of the other episodes. So check them out. Bye.
Hey.